Hi there, Spruce Society. Ben Riley here. Hopefully you can see me. It says I'm now live. There's always that awkward lag. So if you do see me, let me know that you are seeing me, just so I know that I am here and that you're seeing me. Hope everyone is well. It's great to see you all. My name is Ben Riley. If we've not yet met, it just means we're friends that have not yet met. But I am the president here at Young Living, and I really appreciate Melissa's invitation to come in and say hello to all of you. So let me know, first of all, if you were at Winter Harvest. I heard great things about Winter Harvest. And is that Crystal, my best friend Crystal? Long time no see. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays with your family. Janelle, great to see you. Hi, Nikki. Wow, this is the who's who of Young Living. What an incredible group of names here I'm looking at. Wow, amazing. Okay, fantastic. Stacy, great to see you. Sarah, thanks for popping in. Heather, Denise, great to see you all. So glad you're all here. It's great to see your names. Nikki Ham is one of my favorite humans in the world. And who was it? I think it was maybe Prasad afterwards says, you know who's the best? Nikki Ham was at Winter Harvest and she was amazing. I was really jealous that I missed out on Winter Harvest. I'm always jealous every time there's something that's happening I'm not a part of. I have a real severe case of FOMO in every case. Hi, Kelowna. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Fance. Lisa, great to see you all. Yeah, so I was really jealous, and then I was doubly jealous when I heard so many of you were there. In particular, so Prasad told me that Melissa Kohler and her team were there, and then of course I had a really bad case of FOMO because anywhere Melissa is, I want to be. She's just the best. She makes every place she is better. Every room she enters, she brings. I think she just brings this abundance that is incredible, as do so many of you. So, anyway. I heard it was great. I definitely missed out, but what a great reminder of what we're all about. I think the harvest, the plantings, anytime you get a chance to spend time on a farm, you realize that we were farmers first. And those were the humble beginnings where our company, it was the seed of the dream that Gary planted that ultimately became what Young Living is today. So it's really incredible. So anyway, I'm filled with a lot of gratitude seeing so many great people here, and reminding me of all of the great people we have in our business. This is really our power. And I know Melissa has set up this group with Janelle, great leaders. And the type of people, there's that adage that you become the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that's why I love Young Living, because I love spending time with great people like all of you. And I feel like I'm elevated and I'm better because of it. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. And that's, I guess, the first message I'd like to say as I'm popping in here is just a big thank you to all of you for being our partners in this great mission and the movement that we're creating. I feel like we have a powerful brand because Young Living we've carved out this space. We've earned the high ground of being kind of the creator of this space for essential oils. We didn't create essential oils. You know, they've been around for millennia. But in terms of being able to deliver pure essential oils in blends that have never heretofore been available to humankind. When you think about the far reaches of the world in which we bring oils to you and create into these blends and singles, it's never happened before. I feel incredibly blessed to have access to it, to be honest. And Gary was one who understood that, and he was the one who made it happen. So obviously we're indebted to him. But that's not the secret to our brand. It's a piece of it. It's why I think Young Living is a great company to be with. But it's even more powerful because we paired that incredible brand with your incredible brand. And the law of attraction that has brought so many sincere, hardworking, kind, abundant people to our community is really our superpower at the end of the day. It's why we have built this incredible business, is that partnership that we've built together. Joanna Malone, great to see you. Tammy, my goodness, so many great people here. Awesome. So anyway, so this is a great company to be with, a great brand. And we've been through an interesting time. This last couple of years, this global pandemic we've all been through, it's unlike anything we've experienced in our lives, certainly anything I've experienced. It's the first pandemic we've had in over 100 years. And I've come to realize, especially in retrospect, that there are a lot of things that have changed. I feel like we went through a lot of hardship, and I'm a big believer that the setbacks in our lives set us up for better things. And I feel like we didn't live through a pandemic just to go back to our old selves, go back to our old patterns, go back to our old lives. Because I feel like today we are better, wiser, stronger, smarter. And I think that now is a great time for us to take our better selves and apply it to making the world a better place. and making your business better along the way. And so, having been through those trials, sometimes when you're going through a trial, you feel like life is hard, because it is, and that is your new normal. But I also know that as surely as you have storms, you also have sunshine. And storms can't last forever. And I feel like we've been through one of the biggest storms that humanity has been through in a long time. Certainly with the loss of life and the hardship and not being together, I'm only starting to, I think, even now realize the toll that it takes on us, on our society, in of course, our physical health and wellness. And I think we talk a lot about that, but maybe not even enough about our mental health and wellness. There's a lot to be said for that as well. And I think the solutions that we have here are so timely for what the world needs. I know at the head office, we're inspired by you, and we're inspired by seeing the way you show up and your intent and sincere desire to make the world a better place, to share our message, to build our business, and realize that we need to show up as best as we can too, because we're your business partners. And my goal here at the head office is to make sure that we are a good business partner, that you can look at the way we show up, and I say this a lot, we're not perfect, but we want to chase perfection so we can catch excellence. I want you to feel like that you have a team behind you who are showing up and giving our sincere college best in helping you grow your business, and you feel like you have people in your corner, because we're a powerful organization. I say this all the time, but the sun never sets on our business now. We're open in 27 countries. We have offices in 27 countries. Last year, we shipped products to over 132 countries around the world. We're an incredibly large organization. And we have a large internal team. We have an even larger field partnership and field team. And when we harness ourselves and link arms together really well, we are really powerful. So what does that look like? We've kind of talked a little bit about it, but I want to highlight a couple of the priorities that we've set as a business. And I'm a big believer in prioritization as a way to ensure that we're effective. And one of the mistakes that Young Living has made historically is, out of a sincere desire to be helpful, we try to tackle too many things. And doing too many things all at once is a recipe for doing nothing well. If we try to be all the things, then we really aren't anything. And so I think prioritization is how we put our stake in the ground and say, this is what really matters. This is how we're going to grow our business. This is how we win. And one thing that really struck me over the last 6 months is I've spent a lot of time traveling around the world. I saw Grace. I know I saw you in South Korea. I saw Hui Min. I saw you in Australia. I've seen lots of you around the world, and of course those of you in the United States. And one of the things that was really resounding is our technical tools need to improve and need to perform better. And if I winnow that down to even the most important of all of our technical tools, it's the enrollment experience. The fact that there's a lot of anxiety when you send someone to Young Living, to our website, because it's not a great conversion tool. That people they end up leaving because they get stuck, because it takes so long. There are too many decisions and decision points that get in the way of our end goal, which is for them to just get started with Young Living. And so improving enrollments, we've stated as our number one priority for the business in 2023. And there are a couple of ways that we're going to do this, but we have a lot of room and opportunity to grow here. And it's resounding feedback. So we're working on a couple of things. So the first thing is we will improve enrollment wherever you are around the world in 2023. How we're going to do it kind of varies a little bit. We're working on an app that, I know most of you run your phone here. We're working on an app right now that's being launched in Malaysia as we speak. It becomes a pathway for us to make it really simple to run your business from your phone. So that's one of the ways that we're going to improve enrollment through that application and expanding that application around the world. But that takes too long. It's going to take us over a year to get this app into all of our markets, and that's too long. So we're also going to look at your platform right now that you're on. We have different versions of enrollment 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So we're going to either upgrade you if you're on 2.0 to 3.0 or 1.0 to 2 and then 3.0. And at the same time, we're doing some work behind the scenes to create what is an independent enrollment experience. The benefit of this is we can streamline it and make it really, really simple and focus on it purely as a conversion tool. I want you to be able to send people to this enrollment and have it convert really well and do it really quickly. And some of that is we need to limit the number of choices we're asking people to make. And a lot of technology and a lot of research shows that if you have a long form enrollment, people are less likely to leave. So streamlining and improving that, that's our number one priority. So you're going to see improvement this year in enrollment. That's the one thing we're putting a stake in the ground saying we're making this happen. It's the priority for the business. So look for that. That's one way we're going to be a better business partner to I mean, honestly, we want you to bring people to Young Living, and you never get a second chance to make a first impression. That's why enrollment is so important. So we'll be talking a lot about this. Not to worry, there's a lot more that's happening around the business, but we've stated that as a company, this is the number one priority. So improvements to enrollment, look for that. And depending on where you are around the world, and I'm seeing so many of you that are joining us from all over the world, don't worry, we're thinking of every single one of you, and we're going to improve the way people join our business and get started. The way they join is important. I talk a lot about this, but if they join with a kit and a loyalty order, or ER, yes, Sandra, that includes Europe. It includes everywhere. Now, the way we get there might vary a little bit. In the end, our goal is to get everyone on the same platform. So for instance, the e-commerce platform that we've ironed out in the United States, and those of you in the US know that you've done some hard yards helping us get there. Well, it's performing at a high level. It's our best website in the world today. So we're going to get that everywhere internationally. But again, that's going to take too long for enrollment specifically. That's why we're treating that as a separate project, because I don't want it to be a year or more for you to see improvements on enrollment. It's far too important. And Denise, yes, we have to keep it really simple. Like I said, the paradox of choice is an interesting one. In the past, we've always felt like, well, wouldn't it be great if we gave them this option and we could add in these additional kits and so on and so forth. And to be honest, the best thing we can do is keep it simple. Make it really simple for people to shop. Well, not even shop, to be honest, just check out. And as I was saying, if they come in on a kit and a loyalty order or an ER order, they stay with us almost 80% of the time. Our retention rate is industry best when we follow this path. New people are successful. If you don't have the kit, but you still come in on a loyalty reward order, it's still over 60% of the people that stay with us over 12 months. So again, the retention's really high, and that's the number one thing you can do is get people on a loyalty order. Kits are still really helpful. Over 20% of people who come in on a kit stay with us over 12 months. And if they don't come in on a kit or a loyalty order, they stay with us just over 10%. I think it's 11 or 12% they stay with us 12 months later. So it's really important that they join the right ways. We set them up for success and that it's really simple. So it's been really, I look at it now, and interestingly enough, we were looking at our data for enrollment recently, and people take over 30 minutes to enroll on most of our platforms. And you know where they spend most of their time? Over 20 minutes of their time is shopping for other things to add to their cart. And what happens is over 20 minutes, eventually you get interrupted by your kids, life is happening, and so people get hung up there, they don't check out, and then you never know if they're gonna come back and check out. So we wanna make it really, really straightforward, really, really simple. So we're looking at that data, making sure we're making good decisions and setting your business up for success. So enrollment's one thing we're gonna do to be a better business partner. We're also currently actively working on transitioning our commissions engine, which enables us to pay faster. So when I look at the gig economy with which we compete, and it's growing exponentially. The gig economy is one of the phenomenons of this decade. People who are doing side hustles. And you know these side hustles. The gig economy is Uber is probably the best example. Uber in all of its forms, Uber Eats, DoorDash, etc. You've got Airbnb, all these other side hustles that people are participating in. And here's the thing is we're the best side hustle on the market. We always have been. Because there's no better place with a minimal investment to have scalability, to be able to build what can ultimately become an international multi-million dollar business. You can do that here. You can't do that with Uber, right? With Uber, you are basically trading time for money. So if I drive an hour, I get X amount of money back. It's not scalable, and it doesn't have some of the meaning and the I think the mission that we have. You certainly can't change people's lives like we can with our products and our community and our opportunity and all of those things. But people do it because it's easy, and they do it because they get paid quickly. And so that's why we are focusing on paying faster, especially on things like fast start. We want people to do it to get started quickly, and at the same time. I'm looking at comments and I'm getting distracted. So that's why I'm going to have to come back and look at some of these comments. But I love it. I love seeing all the comments here. And Noise, Aubrey, that must be Australian. Please tell me that's Aussie. So we're going to focus on paying faster, specifically for Fast Start. There might be a few other things. Some things we're probably going to do monthly because that's the way it works, best with our compensation plan. But fast pay for those fast activities, for bonuses, things like Fast Start, is a big opportunity for us. We're working on that right now. So I expect in 2023, we'll have the technology. We also have to make sure we know how to best pay you. And a payment intermediary helps best, like Hyperwallet, things like that. So we've got a few things we need to vet out in that journey, but we're making progress on that front, which I'm really excited about. Another thing I've heard a lot about is seed to seal. In this past year, we've had a lot of people kind of come after us or question seed to seal and try to use it as a way to question Young Living's veracity, our authenticity. And this really bothers me, to be honest, because I've never been with a business that does more in vertically integrated pure product sourcing like we do. And you know, because those of you that went to Winter Harvest, you see it in action, you know it really happens. But because we haven't done a good job of telling our story, we've been vulnerable on this front. And that's silly because we're doing the hard work already. You know, like the sourcing practices are already in place. Telling the story is what we've kind of gotten away from, and that's tragic because that's the easier part of it. But a couple of things that I mention a lot. Did you know that we have 17 patents as a company? And our nearest competitor, a direct sales essential oil company that you know, they have zero patents. And we have 17. And we have more that we're applying for, including some incredibly exciting technology in the space of essential oils. And one thing I'll say about the farms is the farms are great because not only can we vertically integrate and source from seed to seal, and you know we don't do this on all of our products, mostly because our products come from all over the world, and we've grown at a rate that's greater than our ability to produce ourselves. That said, we still source a significant amount of product from our farms and partner farms, but even more importantly, we learn through this exercise. Guess who doesn't distill oils? Everybody else. No other company is as vertically integrated as we are. And you know what happens when we distill botanicals and create essential oils? We learn. We have technologies and capabilities that other companies don't have. And that's why we've got some exciting technology in the space of essential oils that nobody else can match, because they're not doing it the way we're doing it. Yeah, they can try and copy it, but you know what? They can't do it like we can do it. And we're going to have patents on some of these processes that further strengthen our advantage, that extend our advantage. More to come on this. We're trying to get something ready for convention in 2023 in North America, or I should say the Americas. We're inviting all of the Americas to join us in Salt Lake City. That's in middle of July, so if you don't have your tickets, make sure you get them, because we've got some exciting announcements, one of which I'm hoping is going to be this research and even our first product, our first oil in this regard. So anyway, stay tuned. More exciting news to come on that specifically. But we continue to focus on innovation and expansion in this area. Farms, I already mentioned, you've been to the farms, you've experienced it firsthand. And something I always find ironic is we set the standard by which all other essential oil companies measure themselves. When Gary started Young Living, there were a couple of standards in the ISO standard in Europe, but there were not pervasive industry standards for essential oils because we were creating that space. And they've taken that technology or those standards we've created, and now that becomes their standard as well. Like that's what they rally to, right? But you notice how people, when I go online, I find that there are a lot of copycats, and they'll say things like, "This is like Young Living Thieves." Or I saw another one of our competitors says, "Hey, this is like Valor, but it's cheaper." And I'm kind of like, if I can get the real thing, why would I want the like? Why would I want the imposter? I think it's the most sincere form of flattery, the fact that they're comparing them to us. They're comparing themselves to us. It just goes to show that we are the very, very best. So we need to make sure we're doing a better job telling our stories. You may have already seen some of the videos that we've produced. There's going to be a lot of that in 2023. But the French lavender videos that we've put out, including the difference between population lavender and clonal lavender. We do population lavender, and that's incredibly important for the future health of lavender populations in the world, because clonal's a lot like bananas. I don't know if you knew this, but bananas are really threatened by, or rather I should say, the global supply of bananas could be taken down by a single, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a pest. because or any kind of scourge that could attack bananas specifically, because they're all clones of each other. That means they have the same genetic DNA, and they're not being evolved through the planting process. Because we plant seeds, lavender seeds, versus taking shoots and plant them in the ground, that means that our lavender is very diverse. And something that's quite interesting is, this story of I'll see, Kayleen, I'll see if I can post it on my Facebook page, the clonal versus population lavender. It's really cool. There are a few of these videos. Where else would you find them? I'll find out and I'll let you know. Anyway, these are amazing. Also, check out the seedtoseal.com website. It's got some really great content. Some of it's old, but we'll be progressively updating it this year. We have our own site for Seed to Seal for any questions that you have. So go and check that out too, for anything of your needs there. Anyway, that Gary took lavender seeds from Provence, France, after learning the skill of distillation from the masters in France. That's really where the epicenter of the technology existed at the time. And Gary took seeds in his boot. You probably have heard this story. And those are the seeds that he planted ultimately in Washington and St. Mary's, where we have our St. Mary's farm today. Over time, St. Mary's lavender has become its own unique variety because of the conditions in which it's grown. It's a lot hardier than the French version because of the elevation, the alkaline soil, the challenges that the lavender has had to evolve through to be where we planted it. And we were able to take seeds from St. Mary's and take them back to France to strengthen their lavender populations. It's this full circle where we're paying back into that lavender population and making it better than ever. So Chris, that would be awesome if you can track it down. Thank you. But it's a great video and great videos. And there's going to be, thing is, we have thousands of these stories. I'm telling you a couple. The Monarch way stations we talked a bit about. So many cool things. We have a research greenhouse here at our office, and it's mind-blowing when I go down there. The really, really cool things that they're doing, I'm telling you, I get chills thinking about it. This is the Young Living difference. This is why we are the best, and this is why we're going to continue to be the best. Not because we were the first, although that helps, but more because we continue to act and perform like we're the leader every single day. We don't take this position for granted, and we're going to tell this story better. So stay tuned in 2023 as we tell our story better, as we talk about Seed to Seal more, and we talk about the Young Living difference more, because we have more copycats than we've ever had before. And that's because of your success. People see what Young Living has become, and they want to have a piece of it. And they say, hey, I want a piece of that as well. And so many of our competitors have said, hey, we should launch an essential oil line. And you know what? A lot of them have divested from their essential oil line. You know why? Because we occupy this high ground. We're the best in the world at it. And we're going to continue to be the best in the world at it. So these are just a few of the reasons why I'm really excited about our business in 2023. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg. The real question is, what is your part going to be in all of this? Where do you see yourself in this journey in 2023? Because like I said, I think we've been through some hardships. And at the same time, you know what else? I think we're better. And I think we can show up better and perform better because of what we've been through. And I'm fixated and passionate about that specifically. I think now is our time. Now is our time to take the things that we've learned and grown through and pay them forward. Like I said, I don't think there's ever been a more timely or more appropriate time for our business than there are today. Now is a great time to be sharing. Now is a great time to bring new people into your business. I know our enrollment's not great, but you are. And people buy you and your energy before they buy anything else. And people need what we have today more than they ever have. One thing I would highly encourage you to do, this has been super difficult during the pandemic, but when I did research with our golds and above to ask them, how did you get from silver to gold? Because that's a big step, right? Going from silver to gold it's where you really move into multifaceted leadership, and it's a tough step to make. So I said, what was the difference? And you know what the number one thing that they said, and this was overwhelming, 60+% of the responses were classes, in-home classes, virtual classes where necessary, but in-home is so powerful, and because essential oils are so sensory. There's so much you can experience oils in ways that you can't do with anything else. That's a superpower that we need to really leverage, those in-person classes. Prioritizing and blocking out time for your business where you're focusing on the income producing activities. I know everyone's busy. And I found in my experience, it's not so much about having an abundance of time that you allocate towards it, but more the quality of the time you do give to it. Even if it's an hour or two a day, if it's good invested time in the things that grow your business, it's enough. It really, really is enough. But now is a great time to be connecting. Connecting. I think that's what we do at Young Living, and that's why we're powerful, are those connections. Because oils have never stopped working. I know you know this, but I'm 2 decades in using Young Living essential oils. They've never stopped working. And that's why this is why I have so much confidence in our business, because I know that I'm not going to ever live without our oils, ever. And I know that's true for you too. And there are people in the world who feel exactly the same way. That's our strength. So, people need our products, but even more than that, they now need our opportunity, because you know what's happening with the world economy. We're probably on the precipice of what is going to be a relatively painful recession. And you know what? That's okay, because our business does well through recession. We find that when the economy's not great, people are more interested in our business, in our opportunity especially. When people have a little bit more discretionary income, they're a little bit more interested in our products, and they're more likely to become customers. So now is a great time as things get a little bit more challenging with inflation, cost of living going up, as well as layoffs. You've probably seen there have been lots of layoffs around the world. Now is a time to be talking about the opportunity, because people need it now more than ever. But last but not least, our community. Like I said, I think we've been through, and I worry about the mental health of our society right now. And I think that we have the answer. And the answer is connection. The answer are people. Tons of research shows that the greatest source of happiness in our lives are our personal relationships. And I also recently read in a book called Plays Well with Others, I think is what it's called, by Matt Barker. I'm the worst. I'll have to make sure I get the proper reference. Plays well with others. Anyway, the point that he makes in this book is that research shows that our relationships with our community, even more so than our spouse, our spouse especially. Our spouse is our partner, but it's the friendships that we cultivate in our lives that are they're the bonus. Because you don't have to navigate difficult decisions like you do with your spouse. With your friends are just for fun. They're just for connection. They're just for uplifting. And that's what the Young Living community is about. And people need that connection more than ever. As we isolate ourselves, our mental wellness suffers. You've seen this through the pandemic. I think the greatest cost of the pandemic wasn't physical health, it was mental health. And I think that our community has the answer for those people. It makes you well when you spend time with people like all of you. All of your names that I'm seeing here, I think, I love you. I love these people. I love these people in my life, and you make me better, and you bring joy into my life, and I'm so grateful for it. And they're going to feel the same. We need to share more of that with people, because they need it now more than ever. And I made this point last week to another group, but I've just been thinking a lot about it, because I am 45, 46 this year. And it's amazing how time goes. And I'll flatter myself to say we're in the same demographic, even though you're probably a little bit younger than I am, a little bit better looking than I am. But nevertheless, we're this demographic. And the demographic that I'm referring to are the people who are in the most productive season of their lives. And I've been thinking so much about this, because I think you can break your life up into 3 segments. The first third of your life is all about preparation. It's when your parents are pouring into you, when you go to school, you're educating yourself, you're trying to figure out what you want to be when you grow up, the formative years. That's all the preparation, right? You're preparing to become a parent, to become a partner, all of those things. You're trying to learn and grow and become a better human being. That's the preparation. And the last third of your life, I feel like, is passing on your wisdom and reminiscing on this season. It's thinking back on your career, on raising your children, on your friendships and the people that you met and relationships you made along the way. That's why people in the last third of their lives are most happy, because they have all of those wonderful things to reminisce on and reflect on, and the people in their lives as a result, and are able to, I think, enjoy the fruit of all of their labors. But this middle third, this is the show. This is where we are productive. This is where we run the world, right? This is where we make a difference. This is where we raise our kids. This is where we run countries. This is where we run businesses. This is where we uplift and help other people. This is our season. We don't get another season like this, and it's finite. I'm amazed at how fast it goes. I'd say it's probably from your maybe mid 30s until your 60s. And that's not to say you can't make contribution anywhere along the spectrum. You can. But you know what? Now is our time. And I feel like I don't want to look back and wish that I would have done more. I feel like this is my time to really hustle and sprint. This is a challenging season of life. I used to think in my 40s life would be easy. And I find that it's hard. I have teenage kids I'm trying to figure out how to best help and raise. And I've got young kids because I started from scratch. I've got young kids. And I've got this business that is really busy. You know, I'd love it, but it's a lot. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I've got my relationship with my wife and my friends and all of these things that are going on in my life right now. It's a very busy time. And at the same time, I feel like now is the time that I and all of us can make the biggest difference in the world. And I think I'm here for that. And I think there's not a better place to do it than Young Living. There really isn't. Young Living is not the most important work you'll do in your life. That's your family. But I do think Young Living augments and supports exactly that thing. I talk a lot about how I think parent guilt and especially mom guilt is a real thing, where I wish I was more present with my kids and I could do all the things. But you know what your kids really need from you is your example. They learn more from that than anything else. By showing up, by leading, and by being a leader in your business and them seeing what that looks like in your life, that's the greatest gift you can give them. Because you can't hold their hand and do everything for them. They have to learn some of that from your example and their own experience. But by showing up and being the best we can in our own lives, that's when we show them and really create a legacy or a path for them to follow. And so I'm grateful that we're all here, because I think this is a great place to be, to create that legacy, to show our kids what it means to really show up in our lives and make a difference in the world. And this is a great company to do it with. The thing is, I know Young Living is far from perfect. I'm painfully aware. In fact, it hurts me to see how flawed we are and sometimes, especially when it comes to being your business partner, because I know how high the stakes are. And I think about it all the time. And I want you to know our team think about it all the time. It's really important to me that we show up well for you. But I also know that you're powerful and you've always been the secret sauce. I mean, obviously the products are the foundation. You have to have those. And fair compensation, I think, is all part of it. But the real strength are you, the people like you who figure things out. We give you the tools, and then you're the one who creates something special with it. That's the magic of Young Living. And that's why I'm confident in us and in our future. When I see you, I see the family that we represent together. And so many of you are incredible leaders. I know you lead teams and you represent tens of thousands of families. I feel like we're in good hands. I like the hands. I like your hands. I like my hands. I like what we can do together. And so I'm really looking forward to this year together. And now is our time. Now is our time. We've been through, we're past the pandemic. We still have the residual of it. And we're not going to get out of it as a people without some hard yards, without getting out and starting to connect people. It's been harder to get people to events. You know why? Because we've forgotten. We've forgotten that we need them. We've forgotten that it's better to get out of our sweats and go the extra yard to get together and be uplifted by each other. But that's why we have to do this work now. And it might feel a little discouraging, a little hard at times, but you know what? It's just one day at a time, one step at a time. That's how we get there. One person at a time. And so if you're feeling like, oh, my team, they're a little bit disconnected, I've lost some people, that's okay. We just have to start where we stand today. Let's wrap our arms around each other and let's find some other people who are going to come on this journey with us, because there are lots and lots of those people. And you're the ones who are going to help us find them. That law of attraction, you bring more people like you to us, and guess what? We're in good shape. So keep up that good work. Go out and share. You never know what's going to happen. The part of this business that's such a great adventure is you just open your mouth, have a conversation. You never know where it's going to go. And sometimes it's a multi-year journey, but nevertheless, you sharing is where it starts. So thanks for all that you do. I'm going to have to go through and read some of these comments because I'm the worst at multitasking, but I just want you to know how much I appreciate all of you. And I want you to know that I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm hustling as best as I can because I care about you. I care about our business and I care about what we can do together. So I appreciate all that you do. You're the best part of Young Living. I say this all the time, but I look forward to celebrating you. Just a reminder, we have Kona that's on right now. Earn points. Let's travel together again. We need to do that. We've got convention in Asia Pacific, because I see a lot of you in Asia Pacific. That's March 16th to the 19th. So join us in Singapore, March 16th to the 19th. We have convention in the Americas in July, EMEA's in September. Lots of these opportunities to connect. I know Melissa's the best at supporting all of our farm events. We have spring planting. We're also facilitating more farm visits. We have accommodations in all of our farms. We're going to allow you to book and do team retreats, engage with our farms, do all of that. Let's get together. Let's connect. let's go out and build our businesses, and let's make 2023 our best year yet. Thanks for all that you do, and I'll talk to you soon.